Howdy y'all, welcome back to the Hoosier Hillbilly. I lost a little bit of footage. Now, I've already tore the back part of this camper out, as you might have seen on the thumbnail. It's already tore out. I had some footage of it, I lost it. I don't know what happened there. So, I did have a second camera put up outside when I busted it out, so I might find that footage. I don't know. If I do, it'll be here. What you're looking at now is right here. Let me back this camera up just a little bit. Okay, so keep in mind the whole ass end of this camper's tore out now. Alright, well, I've got, as you can see right here, I got a 2x4 coming down this way, one coming down this way that creates an X that's tied into the walls and down here on the floor to keep everything shored up and squared up. I've got the camper's leveled front to back and side to side, so that way I've got this so it keeps everything sturdy. Because now we've got this back wall out, the next thing is going to be to tear this wall out. Okay, we've got to get this wall tore out because first of all we're getting rid of this window and this door. We're going to put in one window right here. This is going to be the bedroom. Going to be one window on this side. There ain't going to be no window on the other side. But we've got some rot back here in the back corner, and then, you know, up in through here, it's good and solid right here. But well, we've got to reframe this. So all this got to go from here all the way over to. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the metal off all the way over to right here. That way, that's 8 foot from the back to there. So once we get this framed up here, I'm gonna be leaving this stud and everything from here with this door and everything that way going, and then we'll be able to reuse these 2x3s for something, and then we'll, like I say, I'll cut this from here so we'll be able to get two panels, two 4x8 panels from there up to here, get this closed back in once we get this all framed up here, and then on the back get the new wall framed up and put up back there. Then we'll get a couple panels on there, and then we'll concentrate on this behind you, which is much the same as this over here. It's got a window in it and it's rotted, and we're going to have to come up. We're going to come up 8 foot and we're going to cut it out. There's a few good studs still left that goes out probably, I don't know, a couple feet anyway before we start getting into some rot, so we'll just have to rebuild a smaller wall there. So what I'm getting ready to do now is I'm going to take my cutoff wheel, I'm going to cut this metal straight down on the inside here what I can, and then we're going to peel it off of where it's stapled onto these 2x2s here. We'll pop them loose, and then on the outside I'll pry it, rip it, do whatever I got to do to get it off, and then we're going to get all this out of here. Once we get this out of here and this other wall on this other side cut out, then we can cut off the 2 foot of this floor back here in the back, so we can put in a new piece of plywood back there and fix whatever we need to structurally on the bottom there. So that's where we're at. I'm going to cut this roof. I've been waiting for it to not rain. I keep getting rain. I've been waiting for it to have a good spell of no rain. We just had rain just an hour ago. Right now, don't look like our next chances until next Friday, and this is a Monday evening, so I'm hoping that stays the way it is, because I'm fixing to open this up. I don't want it to get wet in here, but if it's going, it's going. I can't stop it, so we got to make this happen. Okay, so we got the roof out of the way, siding cut over here. Now we're going to go up and we're going to cut this wall right here next to this stud. That's the last stud that's going to be left, and then I'm going to have to cut down there at the bottom. And I don't know, I can't open that door from in here. I don't know if there's just, I need to look and see for the, I don't think there's no screws in the bottom of that door. No. Okay, so I'm going to take saws on and I'm going to cut these 2x2s up here and down here. And I'm going to make sure Abigail ain't in the way out here. I think I done scared her off. There you go. That wall's down. And the ants didn't like that too well. Alright, so now I gotta get this cleaned up. Once I get this cleaned up, then I can concentrate on cutting this other wall out, get it out of the way, and then we can cut this floor and get that replaced, and we can start rebuilding. Today I got all that mess cleaned up. Well, cleaned up as good as I can. It's let me just say, with staples and screws and whatnot, I'm not going to be parking in that part of the driveway for a little bit. I'm going to have to run a magnet over and get that cleaned up. So what I've discovered since then, after I got all this mess cleaned up, I've been piddling around here a little bit. I got to work on tearing out some of this wall here too. Now I was only going to tear it out to right here, just past this window, because the rest of the side of that wall looks pretty good from there on. But I got to looking, and it looks like the floor sloped down just a little bit right there. So I got underneath there and cut out some of that plastic. And sure enough, that plastic and that insulation underneath there was all sopping wet, had been for a long time. Now there's where this wall goes on the outside edge of this floor, there's also a 2x2 on the bottom side that goes on to where there's some brackets that come off the main frame that come up and support that. So I cut that out just to see how bad that was going to be right there, and it looks a little worse than what I thought it was on that outside piece. But then the next piece over, which is about 12 inches right where the main frame is, that's got runs all the way down through here. It's wet. It's back here, it's rotten. I knew I was going to have to replace a little bit of it, but up through here it's wet and kind of soft, just enough that I don't trust it. So what I'm going to do on this floor back here, I was going to just come up 2 foot off the back and cut it off and put a 2 foot by 4 foot or 2 foot by 8 foot wide, or however wide this is, new piece of plywood in there, which I already bought a piece of plywood for that, but we'll save that for up here on this front, because I'm going to go ahead and get a new 4x8 sheet, and we're going to go ahead and pop this whole sheet out here, and that way I can definitely replace that whole 2x2 across there, and the one that's sandwiched between the floor and the frame, I'm going to have to get it out of there. Now I don't know exactly how I'm going to tackle that. They've got it stapled in pretty good through there, so I'm going to have to jack up on the floor a little bit and try to get under there somehow, sawzall or something, and cut it, and then try to work that out of there. Then I can cut all those staples off with a cut-off wheel. That's no problem. Then we can lace a new 2x2 in there and a new one out on the outside edge, so everything will be good and solid. So the next thing I got to do is to get this wall out. Now I already cut it up here and right down here because I thought I was stopping right there, but I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of it out. So I'm going to cut over here at the top and the bottom with my sawzall. I'm going to go ahead and try to knock. Well, I don't know about that siding. I'm going to have to get this siding off here. It might be easier to get that siding off before I knock the wall down. because that other one I knocked down, and I had to rip the siding off of it after I had it down. So we're living and learning here. It's going to be easier to get that siding off now, so I'm going to do that. Well, there was that part of the wall with it anyway, so. All right, let me get down there and get that cleaned up and get that out of the way, then I'll get back to cutting this over here and getting the rest of the wall out of here. Yeah, see, that knocked off there way too easy. It's a little too rotten right in that area, so it's good that we're digging in. Speaking of digging in, I think I got some staples dug into my flip-flop. Yep. Okay, now we're going to tackle this piece of plywood and see what it's going to take to get this off here. Right here's our seam. Right down through here, it seems to be a tongue and groove. Okay, it ain't looking too bad. These are all solid once you get back about a foot or so, and we can cut all these staples off and we can scab on a piece. We can go back plumb underneath that piece of plywood with a 2x2 and attach it to this 2x2 and to the floor and bring it out here up on this piece of metal that's at the very back here to support it. So, not looking too bad, just the very ends are rotted, other than, like I say, this over here. This right here is what I was talking about, where this goes all the way back here. See, that's sitting right on the frame there, and that's soft underneath there. I can get my fingernail in it all the way back into here. So, this is the piece. I'm going to have to somehow get this piece out of here. I'm going to have to cut it back in here and get this piece out from here to there, and this piece here that goes out on these brackets will all be replaced all the way to that wall right there too. So that'll get us nice and solid here, because like I say, this is sloping down just a little bit right here, and we don't want that. So, but this, like you can, if you can see right here, see all this insulation and this plastic. Because of course you can see even the hickory nuts in here where the squirrels are been in here chewing on them. But see, all this insulation it's been laying in there. It's wet. This damn plastic held it in there. So that's what let it all get in there. When I build my gabled roof on this, see, it's going to have an overhang, and so the chances of it ever leaking like a camper is slim to none. It's going to be built more like a house. So that's the problem with campers, is the way they put these damn rubber roofs on them, and that they just can't. They don't stand the test of time. Some of them don't last no time at all. So I believe that's enough right there to get the next video up. So I'm gonna wrap this up for tonight and get in, fix me some supper. I ain't ate good in a few days because I've been hard at it working on this thing, and by the time I get in there, it's too late to cook any supper. So I'm gonna cook me up something good tonight. So I'm gonna clean this mess up, and I'm gonna call it a night. So until next time, guys, it's the Hoosier Hillbilly. Y'all have a good day.